Wow. I would like this to be my alarm. You know, wake up bright and early. So Cow Corner, day 11 at the World Cup. It's strangely uneventful, maybe, but pretty consequential nonetheless. Bit anticlimactic. So this is Prashant and Siddharth. It's trying to cover a little bit of day 11 and also looking ahead for Super 8s, right? One thing that happened today is Nepal actually won one of the matches. And, I'm sure Jatan, who's not chatting with us right now, feels a little vindicated that his team, the one he has hyped up so much, did end up winning. I thought it was a good match, right, Siddharth? So,
Yeah, good match.
not super high scoring, but still, like 170 is a good total for this tournament.
Yeah, I think brilliant match. Went down to the last over. Great innings by Dipendra Singh Airi, scoring a crucial 50. Also great batting by Michael Jones on Scotland's side. And I think Michael Lesk continued his good form with the ball, picking up another 3 wickets in this match. And yeah, I think overall it was a good game. Good for Nepal to also get a win against Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nepal sadly is still going to finish bottom in the group. Depending on how badly Italy loses to West Indies. Yeah, assuming they lose, Italy could also win. But yeah, still some things to think about for Nepal coming out of this, but good to at least get a win.
Yeah. And I do want to maybe touch upon the format for the T20 World Cup and how do we have any thoughts on having a different format? Because say as an example, right, group stages you have 4 matches, and I'm not saying you could have, maybe you could have more, meaning there isn't much opportunity for teams that are doing well or kind of at the cusp to
Yeah,
keep
for
pushing
me
the envelope.
the
Yeah.
biggest example of that's got to be the U.S. As
Yeah.
long as Pakistan takes care of business against Namibia, which Pakistan has been known to let their business kind of hang dry in the with the other laundry, with the dirty laundry. And then of
Hmm.
course Afghanistan, of course not being able to make it to the next stage. Maybe they'll consider a wild card, right? Since less than
Yeah.
half, like baseball style, since less than
Actually,
half the
that's a
teams
good
make it to the
idea.
knockouts.
That's a really good idea. I mean, one thing we have been just brainstorming or thinking about, just I don't know, blue sky thinking or wishful thinking, whatever you want to call it, how to give some of these quote unquote associate teams, and Jatan doesn't want to call them associate team; he wants to call them candidates.
Yeah, you can
Which
have
I like
a
the.
round of knockouts between the third place teams, right? We have 4 teams in third. Just
Yeah,
have a quick little semifinal between each of those, and then those 2 teams make it into the Super 10.
yeah. So cool. I mean that match was good. Definitely good for Nepal. The other, obviously Canada, New Zealand match.
Highest individual score, right, in this match so far. Yuvraj Samra with 110. So
Yeah,
props to him. Good job.
yeah, the Canadian. That's cool. Another 100, second 100, right? Other
Yeah.
than Nisanka,
Yes.
which means without any doubts. How much? How many did you score? 112. You said
110 of
10.
65.
Wow,
Yeah, 11
65.
fours, 6 sixes. So
Wow.
good innings, but not enough to get over New Zealand. And then you see again, Tim Seifert, didn't really perform in this particular match, but great for Rachin Ravindra to finally find some runs. Hopefully it's not fool's gold, it's real gold, and this run continues for him.
Nice. Okay. And obviously the other match which actually didn't happen is kind of the big news, the Zimbabwe Ireland one. A bit of a letdown. I mean, I would also just think out loud here, for Zimbabwe it would have been good to actually play that match so that they are all primed and ready. Of course they have a match against Sri Lanka, which I guess they can just focus on now without worrying about qualification, because They have qualified now for Super 8s. So it was kind of a bummer, though, an abandoned match.
Yeah,
Not sure what more you can do because it's a very packed schedule, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so the Australia is actually officially out of Super 8s. You know, you can say it's an upset, but you can also say we had talked about how they had performed in the preparation series, so to say, against Pakistan. And obviously, their bowling was majorly weakened with Pat Cummins not being there, Josh Hazelwood not there. Just bowling attack has been weak. New Zealand, actually, New Zealand and India had like some really fiery. What does Jatan called it? High octane
high
series.
octane.
High octane.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were all ready. Didn't matter. New Zealand didn't win that, or they lost that 4-1. But Pakistan actually beating Australia 3-0 was something on our mind. We talked about that quite a bit. So you could say this wasn't exactly a surprise, but still, credit must go to again Nisanka. I mean, that innings he played was just unbelievable. And granted, there were few, you could say lucky situations, right? Could have been turning points of the game. Just to relive that match a little bit. Sri Lanka, Australia. I mean, they were like one inside edge that Inglis didn't catch. Went for a 4, and you could see the body language. You're like, I guess everything is going against us. Like Stoinis being like really frustrated. So it's really funny how in cricket once things start flowing your way, it's almost as if the floodgates open, right? All kinds of things go your
Yeah,
way.
momentum's a funny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we outlined all the issues with their bowling coming in. Of course, their batting lineup was really hurting with Mitchell Marsh not being able to play in the first two games. That
Yeah.
was again, I think, maybe an underrated aspect of part of their struggle that their captain, right, their opening batsman, the one who takes strike, right, he wasn't there, and
Mm.
that really hurts a team. Don't want to understate that. And
Yeah.
then, of course, their lack of a true spin threat, I think, really set them back, especially because they were playing most of their matches in Sri Lanka. And then again, the game against Zimbabwe, that they could not lose that match because the game against Sri Lanka was always going to be tough. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, then there was also the inconsistency in the batting order. I don't think Australia knew who their best starting 11 was. Even now, I don't think they know who the best starting 11 is. So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they were a team without identity in this World Cup,
Yeah.
and they had a lot of, I think, thinking, rebuilding. Maybe some of the older players like Maxwell will be phased out, and then maybe hopefully some new spin talent will come forth from Australia after this result. Very disappointing result.
So just to look ahead then, Super 8s, right? Super 8s are groups are lined up. One other group is, India, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and West Indies. And the other group is New Zealand, England, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. I mean, one of my, I don't know, confusion or things I don't like is these seedings are X1, X2, X3, X4, whatever they call it, is already set, and it doesn't matter how you perform during the group stages. Meaning it didn't matter whether you're the first or the second, which is kind of absurd almost. Like I really don't understand why they would do that. At least you should have the seeding, according to how you finish in group stages. I remember in 2007 World Cup or around that time, the ODI World Cup, what they had done was how you do in the group stages. You kind of carried forward those wins to knockout stages. So it was
I
a
think that's silly. They're getting a little too cute about it. Just have the two teams play each other in a knockout and call it a day.
yeah.
We already did the group stage to figure out whether the teams are consistently good or whether they're flukes, right?
Mm,
Now
mm.
now have the knockout. Have a big bracket instead of having all these teams play each other again. We just want to see. We want we're getting edge. Just Let's get to the climax already.
Or maybe best of 3. I don't know.
Nah.
No, one
Oh,
match. One match.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
the beauty of it. It all
yeah,
hangs in one moment, in
correct.
one game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I mean, so group wise, so initially I was thinking, India, Australia, West Indies, and South Africa seemed like a really much more formidable group versus Sri Lanka, Pakistan, England, and New Zealand. But you know, what did I know, right? Maybe having Australia there as a weaker team would have been okay. So it's going to be really interesting to see how far Zimbabwe goes now. Right, they made it to Super Eights. I think they have the team, and see if they can knock one of these teams off
I
and
don't
get to
see it.
semis.
I
No,
think all the three teams for Zimbabwe, they got put into the worst possible group. I think Sri Lanka. It'll be more interesting to see if Sri Lanka can make it because
hmm.
Pakistan, has their issues. England has their issues against spin, right? Um, as they, I mean, they at least they played in Sri Lanka. They had their issues against spin. You saw England and Sri Lanka played in that three-match series before the World Cup as well. And
Yeah.
although England did win that series, Sri Lanka did give them some gripes. And now, if they're actually in form, it could be very
Hmm.
competitive. I think Zimbabwe sadly ran into the three teams that are in the best form, right?
Yeah,
India, South Africa, and West Indies. They're all three are in very, very good form. I think Zimbabwe, it's going to be really tough for them to even
it's
win
hard. It's
or be
hard. Yeah.
competitive. Even
Yeah. Yeah.
all the teams will be hungry, out for blood.
Hmm. Cool. I mean, and the Super 8 start a few days from now. We still have some matches coming up tomorrow. There is obviously Pakistan,
Yeah,
Namibia match.
only group stage game that matters at this point.
Yep. And then we'll see in India, India, Netherlands, and see how what sort of combination India tries. I'm sure Kuldeep will or should get another match. Yeah, so a couple more matches coming up, but Pakistan, Namibia should be a good one to track. Um, and then once Super 8 starts, it's going to be frantic. Every day is going to
Yeah,
be cannot wait, cannot wait for Super 8s to start.
yeah, I'm
So
absolutely loving it. This World Cup's been great so far.
yeah,
Just been an absolute treat of matches, even from the associate teams. I'm hoping that the heavyweights also pull their punches. And sometimes in like boxing or mixed martial arts, right? If any of our listeners watch the UFC, a lot of times the smaller fighters actually get in the most exciting fights
yeah,
because there's so much more unpredictability. Even actually the fighters that are ranked lower, they're the ones who get into like the scrappy, exciting little dog fights, right?
yeah,
That
yeah.
eventually become the fight of the nights or whatever. However, I'm when the heavyweights fight, right? They're so afraid of each other's power that hardly a punch lands. And I'm just hoping that that's not how the Super 8 turns out to be. But
Mm.
given the nature of T20 cricket, I think I don't think that's going to happen. I think teams are going to be going out there being aggressive, especially the teams that are in form. In that first group we talked about, India, South Africa, West Indies, it's going to be explosive.
So before we wrap, just one quick question or one just thought of all those matchups, right? In both those groups, is there any one in each of those groups that we are really looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to West Indies, South Africa.
West Indies, South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be fun. How about in the other group?
Think Sri Lanka, England.
Sri Lanka, England. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look for an upset in that one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
my that's my prediction. I can't even say Sri Lanka if Pakistan makes it. I can't even say Sri Lanka Pakistan would be upset. I think they're probably even in there, right? Like it's I wouldn't just say take Pakistan blindly in this matchup. I think Sri Lanka has a really good chance um, to beat
Yeah.
Pakistan, especially if it's at home, which of course
Yeah.
it would be,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Cool. So you're saying South Africa, West Indies, and Sri Lanka, England. It's the
Yeah,
matchup. Yeah, makes sense
yeah.
actually. Big
Let's
hitting.
see.
Say Hetmeyer and Shihope hasn't.
I hope.
He has played reasonable, but not big innings yet, right?
Yeah, he had one half. I think in the last match he had a half century, so good to see him a little bit back in form. But he's really got to turn up the dial for these Super Eights.
Awesome. So if nothing else, then we can wrap. This is day 11 at the World Cup. A couple more group matches days coming up, and then Super 8 time. So, I would like to, every time I hear the word Super 8, I think about the old recording format, Super 8s. And I'm thinking it's high definition time for Super 8s, if that makes any sense. So I'm looking for some really high drama, I should say, high drama in Super 8s. So we'll see how that goes. So
yeah, and again, once again, thanks to all the listeners. We appreciate your support. We're excited for your opinions. We want to hear your perspective. So whether it's participating in the WhatsApp community, whether it's commenting on our YouTube videos, we just want to hear from you guys so we can continue improving the show. So love you guys. Thank you so much.
And we're just three guys, three fans having a chat about cricket. So until next time, so long.
See you.
This episode was produced by Mukta, Phatak. Music by Joe Reynolds.